Welcome back to Brands Hatch after the second Bennetts British Superbike Championship race of the weekend. A return to the podium for Honda Racing, Glenn Irwin. Glenn, you won yesterday. It looked a much more difficult race today, and it looked at times that you were really having to fight to get back and gain the positions. But it was a bit crazy out there, wasn't it? There was lots of moves, and it was exciting for everyone to watch. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, it was a typical BSB race. Lots of passing, controversy. People managing the race very well. Pete done a great job. For me, for sure, at the beginning, I could feel that edge grip was down, which the rain from last night washed some rubber away. And it is when we have some low grip, we do seem to struggle on the Honda, like the FP1 sessions and stuff. The bike's incredible on drive grip, but very low on edge. And when the track is also, say, low, we become too low, out of the zone as such. So I bided my time, and there was a few damp patches that could catch you out in some of the faster areas. But I arrived on Pete by mid-race, looked at doing the move into T1, didn't pull it, mainly because of the way I had arrived to him. I didn't feel like I had worked too hard. I thought, okay, we'll do it in the next lap, but it's BSB, it doesn't work like that. My brother done a really good move on me into Hawthorne, and from then it was like, how am I going to pass both of them? I still feel like I can win, but I soon realised the pace that Pete had the last third of the race. Danny came through, was much stronger than me. Good fight with my brother Andrew, sort of capitalised on him running a little bit wide at turn 2, which allowed me through. And the last lap then Jason came through, and I thought, bloody hell, I'm not even going to end up on the podium. Fought hard. Something happened obviously behind me. We're all riding at such a hard level. No one means to do these things. So, I'm sure Andrew's apologised. I know he's had a bit of a slap on the wrist, and hope Jason's okay. But look, once again, another thrilling BSB race, and I'm sure, like the rest of the guys will say, it's not just yesterday that we're racing for the Rice family. It's this entire weekend. So. Yeah, and once again, we're thinking of them.
Congratulations on the podium, Glenn.
DB, come in.
A return to the podium for Synthetic BMW, Danny Buchan. Danny, an incredible race from you. You really had to fight for that, and there was some points on the circuit where the Honda was stronger, where the BMW was stronger. Can you actually remember all of the moves during that race?
Not really, no. I mean, I got a good start. After yesterday's race, I felt quite strong yesterday, but I got a terrible start and sort of got beaten up a little bit, so I made sure today that didn't happen. So got a good start, settled into fourth quite quickly, to be honest with you, and I just wanted to see what everyone else was doing and how everyone else was going to play. Most of us at the front there, I think all four of us, the leading four anyway, were running on the SCX tyre. So I just wanted to see what everyone else was doing and whether anyone was going to go, or so I just let Pete actually dictate the pace really, and then sort of half race distance, I felt like I had a bit more grip than the people in front of me. So I started to make my way forward, and I got onto the back of Pete, and there was probably like 3 tenths or 4 tenths, I'm not quite sure of the exact gap, but we just sort of kept that, and no matter what lap time I did, Pete sort of did the same lap time, so we were sort of to-ing and fro-ing throughout the circuit, and but yeah, it's incredible. I mean, to be back on the podium is fantastic. To do it here at Brands Hatch is even better. BMW won too. Obviously, that's brilliant for the manufacturer. And yeah, over the moon. I mean, it's a good way to end the season. We've got one more race, so obviously looking forward to that. And I believe I'm starting a little bit higher up, so that should make my life a little bit easier, hopefully.
That's what you want to do, make your life a bit easier this afternoon, Danny.
Exactly, and obviously, dedicate that one to Chrissy. Big loss and huge personality gone, and thinking of all the Rouse family. So that one's for you, mate.
Thank you, Danny. And returning to the top step of the podium for the first time this year for the FHO Racing BMW team, it's Peter Hickman. Pete, yesterday you had a strong performance and you said there was something extra you needed to find today. That was an incredible win from you, great performance from the BMW, but talk us through it. Was there something that you found? Was it the conditions that were better today? Where do you think that extra came from?
I think the conditions were slightly worse actually, with the rain overnight and the track's got a little bit slippier, and obviously we've got an extra 5 laps on the board. So it was a bit unsure of what was going to happen. From yesterday we actually made a small change to the bike anyway, just to try and help the latter half of the race. And I think actually overall it seems we have achieved that, although the pace was slower throughout the race, it was for everyone. So I think actually we have made that little bit of an improvement. Be interesting to see what happens in the last race today, but just honestly from my side, just a massive thank you to the FHO Racing BMW team. Faye and all the boys have worked really hard and always put their trust in me, and it's nice to repay them back with a win. I said on TV earlier I don't have too many career goals that I like to try and tick off, but one of them was that I wanted to win a big bike race at the Isle of Man TT and a British Superbike race in the same year. It's not been done for a long time, and we've just achieved that. And I almost didn't think it was going to happen this year. You know, it's been that tough, but yeah, just really pleased with how that race turned out. And I changed my tactic a little bit from yesterday as well, because I followed Glenn yesterday thinking he would use his tyre up and I would be okay, and actually it didn't happen like that, and he managed to pull away. So from the start, I actually I changed my mind about how I was going to plan my race, and I thought I'd get out in front, see what pace I can run and see what happens, and I actually managed to manage the gap a bit. I think it was up to about 0.7 at one point. So I chilled myself out, tried to save a little bit, and once they got all a little bit closer, I put my head down again for the last kind of 5 or 6 laps, and managed to just eke that gap back out again. So yeah, super happy. Just need to do it all again this afternoon.
One more race to go in the 2022 Bennetts British Superbike Championship. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much, and as all the other riders said, obviously all dedicated to Chrissy Rouse's family this weekend.
Thank you, Pete.